Well, hello and welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining us for the live broadcast today with Nancy Rollins. You're tuned in to the Center for Christian Life Enrichment, and Nancy will be speaking on making sense when you don't make sense. For those of you who are joining us live today, it is Wednesday, September 7th, 2011. If you have any questions, feel free. We have staff members waiting by to answer your questions that you can type in the webinar browser. And if you're joining us via recording, feel free to email Nancy with any questions that you may have. Her email address will be made available after the presentation. But without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Nancy Rollins, and she will be speaking on making sense when you don't make sense.
Thank you, Andrew. My name, as Andrew said, is Nancy Rollins, and I've had the privilege of being part of the Center for Christian Life Enrichment for the past 15 years. And one of the core values at CLE is to live consciously and responsibly. And in order to do this, we must grow our awareness, identify what is true for us, and understand the underlying reasons and motivation for our choices. To put it simply, why do we do what we do? We often remind our clients that this work is a journey and a process. Our growth model helps people to see the daily opportunities to become more conscious and empowered. We have several tools that help people envision this process and to visualize the steps towards transformative change. I'll be talking about one of my favorite tools we often use at CLE, and it's called the Funnel of Truth. We find this to be effective with clients, with individuals, couples, and groups in helping them to better understand themselves and to identify and move through their mental blocks and their blind spots. I've noticed again and again the excitement and the surge of hope when the light goes on and a person sees themselves more clearly. The Funnel of Truth zeroes in on making sense of our reactions, our feelings, and here and now experience, where initially our insight is blocked. It's a tool and a resource that challenges our dichotomous thinking, where our focus is black and white, good or bad, right or wrong, which fuels our defensive needing to be right mindset, which interferes with life's opportunities to learn and grow. The Funnel of Truth helps us to move from our head to our heart, where we begin to access our feelings and be more present in the here and now. By using this tool, we see that there are levels of truth, suggesting that there is more than one truth, and the less obvious, more hidden truths are often most enlightening. Okay, let's look at the levels. Level 1. This is what we call the surface or content level. We're asked to look at the details, the story, which usually leads to excuses, defensiveness, and the need to justify. It also keeps people stuck, preventing the opportunity for insight. Level 2. At CLE, our focus is to move people from the content level to the process level, which is the heart level. We seek to assist our clients in identifying their feelings, sad, angry, scared, which are representative of negative feelings we might resist. Connecting to their feelings will enable them to begin to deepen their awareness. Feelings are the language of the heart. We find that feelings help people to see that there is a truth beneath the truth that will help them to make sense of their experience instead of staying stuck on the content level, which is level 1. Level 3 involves the subconscious, and with level 4, the unconscious. People can use surface truth to obscure the deeper truth, which leads them to vulnerable feelings that soften their hearts, which enables them to more deeply connect with themselves, God, and the people in their lives. Let's look at an example of the funnel of truth. I'm going to use an example from one of our groups. It really shows and highlights the effectiveness. We have several ongoing groups at CLE, and one of the expectations is that the group members be on time. In fact, they are encouraged to arrive at least 15 minutes before the start of group. The value expressed in this expectation is punctuality, conveys intention to make the most of your group experience. Doing this will set them up for a successful and satisfying group. It also demonstrates being responsible as a group member, which will potentially lead to more responsible living elsewhere. I like to envision it as the ripple effect. In our culture of busyness and cutting it close, this often creates a scenario for those new to group, and that is being late to group. What a growth opportunity. In the event that a person is late, usually they might slip in and hope no one notices or minds, and they might say a quick sorry and hope that that takes care of it. After each person's initial check-in, though, as therapists, we will suggest that the individual take a look at why they ended up being late. Let's look at the levels of truth with a funnel of truth. Remember to notice the progression from content, which is the head level, to process, the heart level. Okay, level 1. What might be a surface level that motivated the behavior of this person to be late? The person might say, you know, the roads were busy. You know how rush hour can be in Chicago. It was hard to get away from the office. There is so much to get done. Okay, level 1, that is true. This is the client's view of what was true about their circumstances. Yet, notice the embedded belief of being powerless versus seeing that it was a choice. The person's initial belief is, there's nothing I could do. I'm a victim of circumstances. They might be thinking towards their fellow group members, cut me a break. I bet you're late sometimes. Essentially, the message is, leave me alone. As you can see, the content level of truth is not helpful in gaining insight. Rather, it is designed to back people off. These surface reactions keep people in the fight instead of helping them to connect with their hearts. Okay, move to level 2. What's true? We begin to mine the field of the deeper truths and feelings surfacing as we tap into the process level, which again is head to heart. We might ask, is there something else going on that could be true? Look at what you were or what you are feeling as you talk about this with us. Considering the feelings sad, angry, and scared, which feeling fits? Now the person taps into additional truth connected to their feelings. I felt angry, or they might say frustrated. I felt angry that I had to rush in order to make it to group. Why am I doing this group anyway? Life is too stressful. Who needs this? I don't like these rules and expectations. Can you see how this group member is now connecting to his feeling of anger and beginning to identify more enlightening truths? He's beginning to connect with his resistance and see that being late has more to it than simply dealing with a heavy workload at the office or Chicago's rush hour traffic. People are ambivalent about growth. We all are. We want it on our terms. There might be the thought, don't expect too much from me. Don't rock my boat. Tapping into the process level, though, begins to soften our hearts and create more openness to understanding, and hidden truths begin to come out, leading to emerging insight. Let's look at level 3. Continuing on, we might ask the question, well, what else could be true? With both the therapist and group support, the person might tap into a fear, feeling scared. They might say, group was upsetting to me last week. I was nervous about what might happen this week. What else might you be scared about, we'd ask. Well, I'm afraid I'm not enough. It's hard to look at these parts of myself. I don't like it. I try to hide these parts of myself. If you really get to know me, maybe you won't like me. I might be rejected. Now we're getting somewhere. It's important to remember that our defensive maneuvers are used to protect ourselves. There is a positive intent in the initial reaction. Yet the truth is it keeps us from connecting on a deeper level with ourselves and with people in our lives. Are you seeing how this process of paying attention to a person's feelings moves them to the deeper truths and not only opens the person's heart, but those in the group as well? Hearts are softened and understanding is born. Let's look at one more level of the funnel of truth, level 4. It moves us towards our deeper hungers that are obscured by our initial defensiveness and the need to be right and in control. Thus, with that in mind, we encourage this person to look again at what might be true. It's not uncommon that a person will react and say, "Aren't we done yet?" But level 4 offers invaluable insights. We ask again, well, what are you feeling? And often the person might tap into vulnerable spaces, a vulnerable space, where they connect with their sadness. Level 4 connects us with our deeper hungers, and admitting them to others is vulnerable, but ultimately self-honoring. What are examples of these hungers? To matter, to be significant, to be accurately perceived and seen, to be valued and loved. As you hear me articulate these hungers, what are you feeling right now? As I'm saying this, I'm noticing that it warms my heart regarding this person and group expressing these hungers, even one of them. And it also fuels my compassion for them because I would identify with what they're saying and feel connected to them because I have those hungers too. Can you see the power in taking the time and energy at delving deeper into the process level of why we do what we do? Think about it with me. What started with exploring a person's lateness to group led to a profound experience for both this person and their fellow group members. It led to a satisfying resolution, a greater consciousness of the process level choices, areas of hunger that are covered over with defensiveness and fear, leading towards consciousness and heightened responsibility in choices going forward. And most importantly, it helped this person to connect with their feelings, which, as I mentioned before, are the language of the heart. When we connect on this level, we are rooted in the journey of transformative living. I hope this has piqued your interest in understanding yourself on a deeper level. For the topic of this webinar, making sense when you don't make sense, you can see the process of understanding yourself. And we at CLE are really excited to support you in this process. Now let me just recap the main points, and then I'll mention some possible next steps you can take. Key points. I mentioned the core values of CLE of living consciously and responsibly. Secondly, remember the feelings, your feelings, are the language of your heart. Third, process communication is feeling-based in the here and now. Fourth, the funnel of truth is a tool that challenges dichotomous thinking and leads to a deeper understanding of why we do what we do. Fifth, we use truth to mask and obscure deeper truth. And lastly, using feelings to access our hearts puts us in touch with our deeper hungers, including our desire to matter, to be significant, and to have value and be loved. Regarding next steps, we would love to have a chance to be of support going forward. And so we want to offer you, and I would like you to contact me if you are interested in having a complimentary 30-minute coaching session with one of our staff. Secondly, I encourage you to check out the CLE website. Lots to see there. Our Facebook and our LinkedIn. Check out our blogs and watch for upcoming webinars and workshops, which we do quite frequently here at CLE. We're very excited, too, to say that Rich has completed a book, Grappling with God, and sign up for the Grappling with God Toolkit. Thank you so much for joining us today, and let us know the ways we can be of support to you going forward. Thank you.